it's supposed to feel.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show. I'm Jim. With me is Tyler.
What's up?
Tyler, you weren't on last night. We actually had some fun last night on the Postgame Show. Today, Pirates they fought. I mean, let's give them credit for that. They fought. They tied the game up. They scored in the 8th inning, the 9th inning, and the 10th inning. But ultimately, they lose in 11, 4-3. They go to 35-41 on the year. Where do you want to start with this one?
I mean, like you said, they fought. At the end of the day, there's just not enough talent on this team right now. They're just not very talented baseball players.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this, you could say, yes, they fought. Like I said, they scored in 3 straight innings towards the end of the game, but the beginning part of that game was terrible.
They looked like they had a rough night in Miami.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what it was like. Brian Hoeing, the Louisville alumni, by the way, Brian Hoeing, he goes 5 innings, doesn't give up a single hit to these guys. Andrew McCutchen was one of the only people who kind of showed a pulse on the offensive side, going through this game. He had a really good game. He got up 5 times. He went 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, one of them being his 400th career double. And he also gets 3 walks. We'll talk about Kutch later on. Henry Davis also with a double to lead off an inning again, and Henry Davis gets stranded on bases with after another leadoff double again. So that was pretty much all that happened offensively before they kind of clawed their way back into this thing. But I guess I want to start with, let's just start with the end. Let's just do that. Let's work our way backwards. The Marlins win it in the 11th off of Angel Perdomo. I'm not going to really blame Perdomo for it. The way the extra inning rules are right now, like, you got to kind of just assume that you're going to give up a run. And he gave up a run. The main problem here is the Pirates didn't put the ball in play in the top half of the 11th off of Andrew Nardi.
Terrible name.
Terrible name. You mentioned it too earlier, like just way too close to Anthony DiNardo, really. And I think that's the problem here, right? There's too much similarity between Andrew Nardi and Anthony DiNardo. So it was just a disaster waiting to happen.
Absolutely. It really just came down to the Marlins did the little things well in that 11th inning, and the Pirates did not. They put the ball in play. They get a bunt down. The Pirates weren't able to do anything. You get a runner on second base, you've got to be able to do little things well. I mean, right now, extra innings is where you can see. Thanks, Leonardo. Extra innings is where you see, how fundamentally sound a team is, because that's when a lot of these little things come into play. And the Pirates, a lot of times, get exposed in those situations because they don't do little things very well, and they're not right now.
Yeah, I think in the particular instance you are talking about was in the 10th inning. Right. You had Palacios starting the inning on second base. Andrew McCutchen draws his 3rd walk of the game. Then you have Connor Joe batting, who, by the way, pinch hit for the number 3 hitter, Jack Swinski, after he went 0 for 2. In the 6th inning, he pinch hit for him in the 6th inning. So you've got Connor Joe up, and Connor Joe squares up to bunt, and it's one of the worst bunts I've ever seen. Just pops it straight up into the air, right to the pitcher. It was awful. It was a terrible
Jim,
bunt.
You left out the part where the Pirates decided to sacrifice bunt not only with the guy that they pinch hit in the 6th inning in the 3-hole, they sacrifice bunt with a guy that's never gotten a sacrifice bunt down in his career.
Is that actually true?
Yeah, they said it on the broadcast. He's
I
never
missed that.
got a
I missed
sacrifice
that.
bunt down.
Well, then there you go. Like, why are you doing that then? Like, why are we? First off, I am extremely against bunting in that situation as the away team. Anyways, like, I think as the away team, you can't play for a run. Like, you've got to play for multiple runs. And the only way to do that is to let your guys swing the bat. So I'm very anti. Once you're the home team, like how the Marlins did it, exactly how the Marlins did it, right? Once you're the home team and it's a tie game, bunt that guy to third as soon as you can. But if you're the away team, you're looking to score more than one. You're looking to put a crooked number up on that board, and bunting isn't the way to do that because you're throwing away an out. So that's kind of my first thing off the bat. I don't like bunting in those situations as the away team. But yeah, to go along with that, the dude's never had a sacrifice bunt. If that's the case, why are you calling him to sacrifice bunt? It didn't work out.
No, I think Sheldon did some things well today. Not a lot of complaints about him. That was just one of the big complaints.
Yeah.
Now you went over it. There's no reason to bunt there as the away team.
Yeah. Now, Ke'Bryan Hayes did kind of save things there with an RBI single in the 10th to give the Pirates a 3-2 lead. But yeah, like, you don't bunt there because you need more than one run. I mean, that's plain and simple.
Yeah. I mean, even if you bunt there, you're just asking to get into an endless game of bunts because the home team's going to come back out and do the same exact thing. We're going to be here for 19 innings.
Yep. The reason why we got to extra innings, let's kind of talk about that. It was a 2-0 game going into the 8th. Andrew McCutchen hits his second double of the game, which ended up being double number 401 for his career. He gets a 1-out double in the 8th. Carlos Santana's had a couple big hits these last couple of days. He drives in McCutchen to make it a 2-1 game. Roansy Contreras comes in, shuts down the door in the bottom half of the 8th. What did you think about Contreras' inning?
Shuts down the door. Did a great job of shutting down the door.
There you go.
I thought he looked fine. I mean,
yeah.
I'm real interested to see how they use Roansy going forward here. We talked a little bit about it before the show. I kind of like using him in these higher leverage situations, maybe more in a 1-inning type of role to really let him work on his stuff rather than just basically having him be a starter that's in the bullpen now, just piggybacking off someone else. Allow him to hone in on some of that stuff he's working on and actually unleash it.
Yeah. I agree. I kind of like it. If you're going to use him like this, like let him just go out there and get outs, like you said. So nice inning from Contreras. Top of the 9th, Henry Davis leads off. This is all with 2 outs. So Henry Davis leads off, grounds out. Castro strikes out. So you got 2 outs. Nick Gonzalez in his second career game, really solid plate appearance, works a walk. And then Jason DeLay, the guy who had a 332 OPS in June, comes through with a huge 2-out game-tying double. Nick Gonzalez scores from first. So that sends the game into the bottom of the 9th. David Bednar comes in, kind of shuts the door there. So Jason DeLay, big-time hit. Nick Gonzalez, big-time plate appearance.
Yeah, really. I think we saw some solid plate appearances from Nick Gonzalez today. I know we're still not getting results out of him, but he looked better today. It's not like a big accomplishment to be better than you were yesterday, but he looked more comfortable today. You're burying the lead, though, in that you tweeted out Jason DeLay's numbers, and then immediately after, he hits a game-tying double. So basically, the Rosati curse also works in reverse.
It does. So and we can say the same thing. We'll talk about Beto here in a bit, but I mean, hey, it's working. Sometimes it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, DeLay has been really bad lately, but he does come through there in the 9th inning today. Big double. Let's talk about Beto. I mean, because other than that, the offense, there wasn't much to it. We'll get to Andrew McCutchen's game, and I do want to talk a little bit more about Andrew McCutchen, but let's talk about Beto. Doug says, while Jim has acknowledged he was wrong about Beto, I think we should discuss how wrong he really was. I'm here to tell you guys, I was wrong. I was wrong. Osvaldo Beto was absolutely the right person to call up in this situation. He has been very impressive. He's been extremely serviceable to good. Like he's been good. The stuff looks way better than I remember seeing. You know, when I've watched Osvaldo Beto in the minors, his fastball, he's averaging around 95-ish with that fastball, but it's hitting 97 at times. The slider, he's got some good movement on it. He's got some good command of it here in these few starts he's made. What's your take on Osvaldo Beto through his first 3 starts? I'm gonna say like he has impressed me.
You go ahead and say you're wrong. I'm not admitting that I am wrong. Maybe I'm wrong in the fact that I didn't want him up at all. He just to talk about today, he did look really good. The 2-seamer had a lot of run on it. The slider looked really good today. The command was really good. He was missing bats. Everything about today's start was pretty good. Really, for the most part, he's been pretty decent in general in all 3 starts.
Mm-hmm.
Long term, I'm not a believer in him. I think he's a bullpen arm. I think you could maybe argue he's a number 5, but he's not a number 5 I want on a contender. We talk about like JT Brubaker, how you can probably win a lot of games with the JT Brubaker, but you're not going to win a series, or you're not going to win any playoff series with him in the rotation. I think Brubaker's probably a little bit better than Beto, but that's kind of where I'm at with him right now. You just, at this point, you have to ride him because he's hot.
Absolutely. Like right now, you give Beto as much run as he'll give you. 5 2/3 innings today. He does give up 9 hits, but no walks, strikes out 5, gives up 2 runs, but
let's be honest, he got hosed today.
He got
the Pirates got hosed today.
Should it have been 2 runs? I don't know. That catch by Palacios, if you're listening and you're not watching, I'm doing the air quotes around the catch. It looked like Palacios caught that ball from every reading of baseball rules that I could find. It seemed like that should have been enrolled a catch. I don't know what happened there, but they get the single, and then Luis Arraez hits the 2-run homer immediately after. Those are the only 2 runs that Beto gives up today. He looked solid. So he gives up 2 runs. I think it should have only been 1, if we're being honest, right? But yeah, solid start. And he gives you more length too than what I've been expecting. I like that first game where he went 4.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of what we were going to get out of him for the most part, but this is now 2 straight games where, he's gone past that and he's given you good results. So shout out Osvaldo Beto.
Familiar with your game.
I wasn't familiar with your game. Exactly. So, good start from him. He definitely gave the Pirates a chance to win this game.
Absolutely. I mean, that's all you can really ask for. He's been good to this point. Probably not sustainable, but ride the wave.
Yep. I agree. Let's we pretty much talked about the offense. We talked about the pitching. Let's talk about Andrew McCutchen before that's really Andrew McCutchen in the 2-hole today. Just another outstanding game. He's reached base 6 straight times now, 2 for 2 today, 2 doubles. Again, he gets double number 400. It was also his 300th as a Pirate. And then 3 walks. I want to walk you through Andrew McCutchen's stat line right now. He's hitting 267. He's got an on-base percentage of 392. And he's slugging 430. Andrew McCutchen hasn't had an on-base percentage this high since 2015. That was like peak prime Andrew McCutchen 2015. So I know we talked about him a lot.
What was it, 401 that year?
It was 401 that year, yeah.
God, I'm smart. He hit 292 as well.
292, 401, 488.
Yeah, that was the first year he didn't go 300, 400, 500.
In a while. But yeah, his weighted runs created plus is up to 128. Just a complete resurgence. And like I said, we've talked about Kutch a lot this year, but he really has been pretty incredible to watch.
Yeah, he's been really, really good this year. Like, there's no other way to put it. It's a career resurgence. Honestly, he looks like he can probably still play for another few years. Of course, Father Time catches up real quick. He's putting together really good at bats. He probably knows the strike zone as well as anyone in baseball. I think you hope maybe you can get a little more pop out of him if you're asking for anything more out of him, but you can't complain about anything you've gotten out of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's currently walking 17.2% of the time. That is good for fourth in the majors. Fourth best walk rate in the majors. So,
and he's doing this with nobody in the lineup around him either.
Yeah, I mean, he's having an excellent year. I think you have to actually start like discussing Andrew McCutchen's all-star credentials at this point too. Like, I think it's pretty easy to say like if you're going to give this team one representative, it's probably David Bednar, but there's some other people, and Mitch Keller being one of them. But I think you have to absolutely think and talk about, is Andrew McCutchen an all-star again?
I think it's a very valid argument. He might fall a hair short, but the good vibes around it might get him there.
Yep. Connor says he's been discussing this for months.
I mean, and if he did make it, it would be very deserving.
Yeah, like he is absolutely deserving of all-star recognition at this point.
It's certainly not Derek Jeter getting invited when he's hitting 200.
Yeah. And like I said, this is his best season he's had since he was in Pittsburgh. So it's pretty cool to see. Age 36. Like I said, he's already knocked out a few milestones. He's got hit number 2,000. He just got double number 400. He's 4 home runs away now from home run at number 300. So yeah, he's on his way to a pretty fun season.
Yeah, thank God he's here, because this would be unbearable at this moment.
Yeah, that's true. Nicholas actually says, I can't even imagine our record if he's not on this team, because like, especially now with Cruz down, with Reynolds down, with the rest of these guys struggling the way that they are, who's left? Who's left if there's no Kutch? Yeah, like he's been very important to this team. He was very important tonight. Unfortunately, again, it was a Pirates loss, but they did show some fight, but you still want to see more from them, especially earlier in the game. Like, this is now 3 straight games really where it's kind of taken a while for them to get going. Like the first 2 hours of these last 3 games have been terrible. Yeah,
pretty much. And I mean, they are fighting back today. I'll just say it. I don't like to complain about umpires. They got hosed today. A couple big calls really went against them, but at the end of the day, you don't get the job done with a guy standing on second and no outs. You don't deserve to win.
Yep. Do we want to talk about Sawinski at all? Jolly Roger report
Yeah,
here.
We can touch on him.
I mean, Sawinski, he's in the 3-hole. You and I were kind of, talking back and forth during this game. If Henry Davis is in the 3-hole, this game maybe has a different outcome. Instead, Sawinski's there. He goes 0 for 2. That makes him 0 for his last 27. Again, 0 for his last 27. I said this before. His OPS on June 13th, 11 days ago, was 924. 924. His OPS today, 826. No, 816. It's even worse. 816.
Yeah.
So I can't do math. I'm not going to try to add up on OBP and slugging while I'm live on camera here, but 822.
Good Lord.
822. So it's about 100. It's about 100 points down. That's right. 822 is correct.
He works in sales. He doesn't actually count the money.
And actually, I'm kind of looking at this. I don't think 820. No, 822. The box score doesn't add up OBP and slugging, so I got to do it in my head. And I mean, it's the way it's lined up.
Let me just confirm it for you here real quick.
The way it's lined up right now, you got to carry some numbers.
It is 822. It is matched with Andrew McCutcheon.
There we go. 822. So it's down 102 points in 11 days.
Yeah, and it's not even just that. I mean, that's obviously the main culprit of the Jack Suwinski issues, but you can't hit him third if you have no faith in him to face a lefty. You just can't hit him third because you can't pinch hit in the 6th inning for your 3-hole hitter. You just can't do it. He's got to be moved down the lineup, and I'm sure in a week he's going to hit 2 home runs in a game that they lose by 7, and that the OPS will climb back into 900, and then we'll be talking about another like 2 for 35 stretch, and it's an endless game of this with Jack Suwinski. I think you got to move him down the lineup and just kind of take some of this pressure off of him, because he probably does actually feel like he has to carry the team at this point. I think that's very valid.
If you put him number 3 in the lineup and no one else is really doing anything, he's expected to do a lot, and he's just. I don't understand how he goes through these phases where he looks otherworldly, right? We talked, he looks like prime Juan Soto for 2 weeks, and then he looks like he shouldn't be in AA. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, how many strikeouts is in that 0 for 27 stretch?
Too many to count.
Fair enough.
I could count, but again, we just already saw my counting skills, so we're not going to worry about it. Anything else you want to talk about before we hop out of here?
Nope. I want to go back to playing MLB The Show. At least I'll win on that.
Yeah, nice. I appreciate everybody hopping on here. Pirates lose 4-3. They are now 35-41 on the year. Quick look at the standings. They are 5.5 out of first place, 4 games ahead of the Cardinals for last place. Tomorrow, they face Yuri Perez. Johan Oviedo versus Yuri Perez. So that's some electric stuff tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah,
that's not the matchup you want to have. Trying to tie the series up here, but
not looking forward to the Pirates facing Yuri Perez. We'll see what happens. He's a young pitcher, like anything could happen, but he's really good.
Doug and DiNardo have fun tomorrow.
That's true. They got the post game, so they can deal with the Yuri Perez no hitter.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks again. That game tomorrow, by the way, 1:40 p.m. will be on again. DiNardo and Doug will be on with the post game show afterwards. Appreciate you all. Appreciate all the comments, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you later.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.